All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're tackling something that's a huge issue in the bedroom, but doesn't get talked about nearly enough: the orgasm gap. We're going to break down why it's so common, and more importantly, how to fix it for good, using some super direct advice from a woman's point of view.
So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we're going to look at the problem itself. What is the orgasm gap? Then we'll get into why it even happens in the first place. And then, the best part, we'll walk through a two-phase solution. It's all about building desire and then mastering control, which leads to a pretty incredible payoff for everyone.
So let's just start with the reality of the situation. And it's a reality that's way more common than most of us think, probably because, it's not exactly easy to talk about this stuff so openly.
To really get to the heart of this, I've got a question for you, and I want you to really think about it for a sec. What percentage of women, according to our source, are faking an orgasm, not just sometimes, but every single time they have sex? Are you ready for this? It's a jaw-dropping 75%. No, that's not a typo. 3 out of every 4 women. This just goes to show that this isn't some rare thing. For a lot of women, it's the norm. And it really points to a massive disconnect in what's actually going on in the bedroom. And this quote from the source just, wow, it really hits you, right? It makes you stop and think. Imagine having sex every few days and never reaching an orgasm. It reframes the whole thing, and you start to see the real emotional weight behind that statistic. This is the problem we're unpacking.
So why? Why is this gap so huge and so widespread? Well, according to our source, it really just boils down to some pretty common but powerful misconceptions about what actually leads to female pleasure.
And this right here, this is the whole problem in a nutshell. On the left, you've got what a lot of men think works. It's all about speed, force, just getting straight to it. But on the right, the source material tells a totally different story. It's all about patience, teasing, gentleness, control, and a slow, gradual buildup. It's basically the exact opposite of those common instincts.
And look, the source is really clear on this one point. This isn't about pointing fingers or placing blame. The whole idea is, how could you possibly know, right? It's not something you can just guess, so think of this as insider knowledge, a guide from someone who actually knows.
Okay, so enough about the problem. Let's talk about the solution. And phase 1 is all about completely flipping the script on what we think of as foreplay. It's not just a warm-up. It's the art of creating intense desire and anticipation.
So the big idea here, it's all about restraint. Seriously, it starts with this really light touch, and you're deliberately avoiding the most sensitive spots. The whole goal is to create a want, to make her crave your touch where she wants it most. You circle her breasts, but don't touch the nipples. You kiss near them, but not on them. The absolute key is to stay in control and resist that urge to just grope. You're building something.
And this quote just nails it, right? By holding back, you're not denying pleasure. You're actually amplifying it. You're cranking it up to 11. You've taken control of the whole pace of the evening, and you've created this incredible excitement that totally sets the stage for what's coming next.
Okay, so you've built up all this incredible desire. Now we get to phase 2. This is where you carry all that intensity directly into intercourse, but you're going to be playing by a completely new set of rules.
So, picture this. You're both at a fever pitch. Arousal is through the roof, and that natural instinct, that urge to just dive right in, it's overwhelming, right? You just want to go for it.
But this is the moment. The single most important piece of advice in this entire guide is don't. This one moment of self-control is what separates a pretty standard experience from something absolutely extraordinary.
And yeah, this is where that self-control really gets tested. You keep teasing right at the entrance, letting her feel you without actually going in. And the source says, even if she's begging you, you hold back. You are still the one in control. Then, when you finally do enter, it's unbelievably slow, just a little bit at a time. The goal here isn't to just ram away. It's to maintain that incredible tension you've built.
So what's the point of all this waiting, all this teasing? Well, the logic is actually super simple. It's a clear equation. The longer you delay that ultimate gratification for her and for you, the more powerful, the more intense the climax is going to be when it finally happens.
So after all that work, all that patience and control, what's the actual payoff? Well, let's look at the results, because this is about making the entire experience better for both of you.
And look at this. This is the whole point. The benefits are not one-sided. Sure, she may have multiple, powerful orgasms, but, and this is crucial, your own orgasm is supposed to be one of the deepest, most incredible you've ever had. It creates a whole new level of desire between you. It's a true win-win.
So,
We'll leave you with this final question, because really, it's what this entire guide boils down to. It's a fundamental shift in how you think about sex. So ask yourself, what happens when you start to value the tease more than the thrust? According to this source, the answer could literally change everything for you.